Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather in this present moment, I invite you to see the world not merely as it appears, but as a vast canvas upon which your thoughts, words, and visions can paint a life of abundance. There is a remarkable tool that lies within your reach, a power so great that when rightly understood, it has the capacity to transform your dreams into tangible wealth. This tool is the social media you use every day, the channels, the platforms, the networks that connect souls across the world. Many see it as a pastime, a distraction, or merely a method of communication, yet I tell you, it is far more than that. It is a modern-day treasure chest, waiting for those who have the faith to open it with vision, courage, and a steadfast belief in the prosperity that flows through them. Everything begins with a thought. The thought is the seed, the invisible pattern from which the tangible unfolds. When you use social media, every post, every message, every shared idea carries with it energy, and energy responds to the laws of attraction. If you speak, think, and act in the spirit of abundance, the universe conspires to bring opportunities, followers, and connections that are aligned with your highest good. Imagine each connection you make as a thread in the rich tapestry of your destiny, each interaction a ripple of prosperity reaching far beyond what the eyes can see. There is a law of supply and demand, but it is not as crude as the marketplace would have you believe. It is a law of consciousness, a principle that states, that which you give in thought, word, and action returns multiplied. To approach social media with a mindset of service, of generosity, and of creativity is to set into motion forces that will reward you in kind. What you broadcast into the world, in essence, you magnetize back into your life. And so, when you cultivate content that uplifts, inspires, educates, or delights, you are planting seeds that, when nourished with consistency and faith, blossom into followers, influence, and ultimately, into streams of income that can be counted in millions. Do not underestimate the power of your voice, your message, and your presence. Even a single post, when infused with clarity and confidence, can ignite ideas in the minds of thousands, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. Social media is a mirror of the inner state of your consciousness. If your heart is filled with abundance, your profile, your content, your engagement becomes a reflection of that abundance. If you fear scarcity, envy, or limitation, the same platform will mirror those fears back to you. Therefore, align your intentions, cultivate faith in the unseen, and speak with the assurance that the universe is your co-creator. Consider the million-dollar possibilities not as distant dreams, but as immediate potentials. Every like, every share, every comment is a current in the river of prosperity that flows to you when you understand and apply the spiritual laws of success. Social media is not simply a tool for connection, it is an instrument of manifestation, a stage upon which the laws of thought, word, and action reveal their power. It is ready to respond to the person who dares to imagine, to speak, and to act with the unwavering conviction that the digital world, like the material world, is abundant beyond measure, and entirely ready to reflect back the wealth that is already within your mind and spirit. The power of thought and intention in digital presence, how your mindset shapes your influence and attracts opportunities online. Every thought you entertain carries with it an invisible power, a force that, though unseen, moves through the universe and begins to shape the circumstances, people, and opportunities that will appear in your life. Social media is the modern arena where these thoughts manifest in ways that can create tremendous abundance, if guided by intention and faith. When you understand that your mind is a garden and your thoughts are seeds, you realize that every post, every comment, every interaction on these platforms is a reflection of the inner state of your consciousness. It is not merely an external activity, it is a spiritual practice, a demonstration of the law that like attracts like, that energy follows attention, and that what is held in thought with faith inevitably manifests in the material world. Consider for a moment the posts you scroll past each day. Many of them are neutral, some are negative, and some carry strong emotions. These are all expressions of the minds and hearts of those who created them, and they are sent out into the collective consciousness. Now imagine that your thoughts, words, and intentions are like beams of light. They carry a vibration, a tone, and an attraction that is drawn to those of a similar frequency. When your mind is filled with clear, positive, and prosperous thoughts, your digital presence becomes magnetic. Your content resonates with those who are ready to receive it, and opportunities begin to appear in ways that might seem sudden, but are really the natural unfolding of spiritual laws. The moment you understand that your intention precedes every action online, you begin to use social media not just as a tool for connection, but as a manifestation of your inner abundance. Every interaction online is a reflection of your thought life. When you approach social media with the mindset of generosity, creativity, and service, you align yourself with the forces of prosperity. If your intention is to uplift, to inspire, and to share value, your audience senses this energy and it draws people towards you like a magnet. The law of attraction is impartial. It does not judge. It does not question. It merely responds to the vibration of your consciousness. When you cultivate thoughts of wealth, success, and influence, these energies are naturally projected through your posts, your videos, your stories, and your comments, and they begin to attract the people, opportunities, and resources that match that vibration. It is essential to recognize that inconsistency in thought and intention creates confusion in the energy you project. A post made with doubt, fear, or jealousy will carry those vibrations and can block the flow of abundance. Therefore, mastery over your inner dialogue is crucial. Before you post, before you share, before you comment, pause to align yourself with the truth that prosperity is your divine right, that influence flows naturally to those who serve with integrity, and that the universe is always responding to the clarity of your intentions. By holding these thoughts firmly in your consciousness, your digital presence becomes a living testament to the law of abundance, a beacon that calls to those who are ready to engage, connect, and contribute to your growth. There is also a subtle but profound understanding to grasp. The digital world magnifies what already exists within. If you hold a vision of yourself as influential, respected, and prosperous, your social media becomes a canvas upon which that vision is painted in reality. Every image, every word, every carefully crafted message sends a signal not only to the audience but to the universal intelligence that governs the flow of opportunity. You are, in effect, co-creating with unseen forces when you act with intentionality. You are planting seeds in a fertile field, and with faith and consistency, those seeds will blossom into a network of influence, recognition, and financial abundance that exceeds what you may have thought possible. Your thought life also governs the quality of your engagement. When you approach online interactions with kindness, empathy, and clarity, you invite the same qualities back into your life. Those who are drawn to you are aligned with your energy and vision, creating an environment where collaboration, partnership, and mutual growth become inevitable. Each post, each comment, each story shared with intention becomes a silent affirmation of your right to abundance, a declaration that the universe is in alignment with your success. By consciously choosing thoughts that are rich with faith, purpose, and generosity, you lay the groundwork for a digital presence that is not just active, but profoundly effective. Moreover, the power of thought extends beyond the content you create to the very perception you hold of your online self. To see yourself as a magnet for influence, as a giver of value, and as a natural leader in your niche is to set in motion forces that the mind alone cannot fully understand. The universe responds to this clarity of vision with tangible results, followers who are engaged, opportunities that are lucrative, partnerships that are fruitful, and recognition that grows steadily. The invisible power of your thought, when directed with purpose, turns a simple platform into a million-dollar asset, because it aligns you with the natural flow of prosperity. It is also important to recognize that fear, doubt, and comparison weaken the energetic signal you broadcast. To allow these thoughts to take root is to obscure the light of your intention. Instead, cultivate unwavering faith in the unseen. Speak affirmations of success and influence, and visualize the results you desire as though they already exist. The act of doing this consistently transforms every tweet, post, and video into a vibrational invitation for abundance to enter your life. Social media then ceases to be a mere tool and becomes a spiritual instrument, a mirror of the richness that resides within your mind and heart. When you fully embrace this principle, you understand that your thoughts are the blueprint, your intentions are the architects, and your actions online are the construction of a reality that mirrors your highest aspirations. Social media becomes a conduit, a channel through which your inner abundance is reflected outwardly, drawing to you the recognition, the influence, and the wealth that are your divine inheritance. Each post is not just communication, it is creation. Each interaction is not just engagement, it is manifestation. The power of thought, aligned with unwavering intention, has the capacity to transform the seemingly ordinary act of posting online into a profound act of wealth creation. Social media as a mirror of abundance. Why the energy you project determines the prosperity you receive from your audience. Every person, every business, every creator who steps into the digital world carries with them an invisible energy, a vibration that radiates far beyond the screen and resonates with the minds and hearts of those who encounter it. Social media is more than a collection of platforms. It is a reflection, a mirror that shows the state of consciousness of the person behind it. Whatever you hold within your mind and heart is projected outward in every post, every video, every story, and every interaction. If your consciousness is tuned to abundance, generosity, and creative expression, social media will respond as a faithful mirror, returning to you the same vibrations in the form of followers, engagement, opportunities, and prosperity. The universe always responds to what is reflected, and the digital space is no exception. It is essential to understand that social media mirrors, more than just your content, it mirrors your beliefs about yourself, your value, and your capacity to receive. When you see others achieving success online, gaining followers, or creating wealth, the mirror shows you what is possible. The reflection is not an illusion but a prompt to align your inner state with the outer abundance you desire. If you feel scarcity, fear, or envy, the mirror will echo those vibrations back, showing you resistance, slow growth, or challenges. Conversely, if you hold a steadfast vision of your own worth, your creative potential, and your right to abundance, the mirror reflects this with exponential clarity. Your audience, opportunities, and income begin to align with the energy you project, because the law of correspondence is unwavering, as within, so without. Every post you make is a declaration of your inner consciousness. Social media is a stage upon which the thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes within you take shape and are projected into the world. When you share content from a place of abundance, authenticity, and faith, the mirror reflects back not only engagement and attention, but the energy of recognition, opportunity, and financial reward. Each comment, each share, each like is a pulse of the universe affirming the truth that your inner state governs your external results. It is therefore vital to cultivate clarity in your intention before you publish. Ask yourself, am I projecting fear or faith, scarcity or abundance, limitation or possibility? The answer will determine the quality of the reflection that social media returns. Consider the nature of influence in this light. Those who rise to prominence online do not do so by accident. They are individuals whose inner consciousness has been tuned to abundance long before their posts ever went viral. Their social media presence is a mirror, reflecting the clarity, confidence, and creative energy within. Followers are drawn not merely to what is said, but to the energy behind the words. Opportunities appear not only because of strategy or skill, but because the mirror reflects an inner state of readiness to receive prosperity. The energy you cultivate within becomes the blueprint for the digital reflection that will determine your trajectory. It is also essential to recognize that the mirror works both ways. Social media reflects the collective consciousness of the world back to you. When you encounter content that inspires, educates, or uplifts, it reinforces the abundance within your own mind and heart. When you witness negativity, scarcity, or fear, it is a reminder to guard your thoughts and emotions carefully, for what you hold internally is what is mirrored externally. By maintaining a high vibration, through affirmations, visualization, and a steady focus on your goals, you ensure that the mirror of social media reflects only that which is aligned with your highest good. Every interaction, whether a comment, message, or collaboration, becomes part of this reflex. Tive process. The energy you bring to others is returned to you, magnified, and often in ways that transcend your immediate perception. Social media is a vast, interactive mirror, showing you not only what is within you but also what the universe is prepared to give. When you approach it with clarity, faith, and generosity, you invite abundance to flow through every aspect of your online presence. Your posts, videos, and messages cease to be mere communication. they become reflections of the limitless possibilities already present within your consciousness. In addition, the mirror effect reminds us of the importance of consistency. A single post can carry a vibration, but consistent alignment with abundance ensures that the reflection becomes unmistakable, undeniable, and powerful. When your digital presence continually mirrors faith, generosity, and purpose, the universe responds with increasing opportunities, followers, and financial streams. Social media amplifies your inner state because the collective attention acts as a magnifying glass, showing your vibration to a broader audience and attracting circumstances that match your energy. The mirror also teaches the value of self-awareness. To see your social media presence as a reflection of your consciousness is to recognize that any dissatisfaction, stagnation, or struggle online originates not outside, but within. By refining your thoughts, beliefs, and intentions, you alter the reflection, and consequently, the results you attract. If you consistently hold a vision of abundance, influence, and prosperity, the mirror will show growth, engagement, and income. The universe conspires to align your inner state with outer manifestations, and social media is one of the most responsive mirrors available today. It is not enough to merely post and hope for results. The mirror requires alignment. What you believe about your value, your ideas, and your potential must be clear and unwavering. The digital reflection responds to the certainty in your consciousness, to the faith that your message has power, and to the vision of wealth, influence, and recognition that you hold as an absolute truth. As you cultivate this inner conviction, social media ceases to be a platform of uncertainty and becomes a vivid reflection of the abundance already present in your life, a mirror that multiplies your prosperity as faithfully as the law of attraction itself. Content is a seed for wealth. How every post, video, or story carries the potential to multiply your income. Every word you write, every image you share, every video you create carries within it a hidden potential, a seed that can grow into wealth beyond imagination. Content is not merely information, it is the energetic expression of your inner consciousness, a vibration sent into the world that responds to the laws of attraction and abundance. When you understand that each post is a seed, you begin to approach social media not as a place of casual interaction, but as a fertile field where prosperity is cultivated through the careful planting of ideas, inspiration, and value. Each thought, each creation, each message holds the capacity to multiply and manifest as followers, influence, opportunities, and financial reward for what you give to the world in faith is always returned in kind. Think of a seed planted in rich soil. At first, it appears small, insignificant, perhaps even invisible. Yet within it lies the blueprint of a mighty tree, capable of producing fruit, shade, and shelter. In the same way, a single piece of content, created with intention and purpose, carries within it the potential to grow into streams of income, recognition, and influence that far exceed the original effort. The universe responds to the clarity of your vision, the purity of your intention, and the faith with which you release your message. Every post that uplifts, educates, or entertains acts as a planting of seeds in the minds of your audience. Those seeds, nurtured with consistency, engagement, and positive energy, blossom into tangible results, often in ways that seem miraculous but are simply the natural unfolding of the laws of prosperity. The quality of the content is inseparable from the consciousness of the creator. If your mind is focused on abundance, on the desire to serve, and on the belief that wealth flows freely to you and through you, that energy is embedded in every post. Conversely, content created from fear, envy, or scarcity carries a vibration that cannot yield the same fruitful results. Social media is not just a platform, it is a mirror of your inner state, reflecting the abundance or limitation that resides within. By aligning your thoughts, intentions, and actions, you ensure that every seed you plant is one that will grow, expand, and produce the harvest you seek. It is also essential to understand that the planting of seeds requires patience and faith. Just as a farmer does not expect a seed to sprout instantly, so too must the creator understand that content may take time to manifest its full potential. Every post, video, or story contributes to the ecosystem of your influence. Some seeds germinate quickly, some slowly, but all are nourished by the consistent energy, engagement, and belief you invest in them. The act of creating content with intention is itself a declaration of faith in the unseen, a recognition that the universe is ready and willing to multiply your efforts when they are sown in alignment with truth and purpose. Every interaction with your content acts as fertilizer for these seeds. Comments, shares, likes, and messages are not just feedback, they are the growth signals of the universe responding to your work. When your content is received positively, it signals that the seeds are taking root, that your message resonates, and that the energy you're projecting is aligned with abundance. Even when engagement appears slow, the law remains the same. Every seed carries within it the power to grow, and every post planted with faith has the potential to yield prosperity beyond measure. The key is consistency, intention, and a belief in the invisible law that governs all creation. Content also acts as a magnet, attracting people, opportunities, and resources aligned with your vision. When your posts are infused with clarity, creativity, and generosity, they naturally draw to you those who resonate with your energy. Followers, collaborators, clients, and investors are not attracted merely to information, they are attracted to the vibration of confidence, authenticity, and faith embedded in your creations. Each piece of content becomes a beacon, signaling to the universe and to humanity that you are a person of value, vision, and purpose, ready to receive the opportunities that are your divine inheritance. It is vital to recognize the compounding effect of content. One post may reach hundreds, one video may inspire thousands, but a consistent stream of intentional, high-vibration creations compounds over time. The seeds you plant today may grow into harvests months or even years from now, and the energy you invest multiplies exponentially. Social media acts as a magnifying lens, amplifying the vibration of your thoughts and intentions, projecting them far beyond what the eye can see. This is why deliberate, inspired content is one of the most powerful tools for creating $1 million asset from your digital presence. Finally, content must always be aligned with your highest vision and purpose. Each seed planted must reflect the quality of abundance, integrity, and generosity that you wish to see manifest. When you speak from this place, the universe responds with unerring precision. Followers become loyal supporters, opportunities appear unexpectedly, and income flows in a manner that reflects the abundance already present in your mind. Every post, every story, every video is a planting of seeds that, when nurtured with faith, clarity, and consistency, becomes a harvest of wealth, influence, and fulfillment. The law of reciprocity in engagement, how serving, inspiring, and uplifting your audience creates returns beyond expectation. Every action we take, every word we speak, and every energy we emit into the world returns to us multiplied. And nowhere is this more visible than in the realm of social media. Engagement, the act of interacting with others, liking, commenting, sharing, collaborating, is not merely a transactional exercise. It is a spiritual law in motion. The law of reciprocity. When you give with a pure heart, when you serve with the intention of uplifting and inspiring, you set into motion forces that return to you in abundance, often in forms far beyond what you could imagine. Social media magnifies this principle, because each act of kindness, attention, and genuine connection is recorded in the collective consciousness, becoming part of the energetic ledger that the universe uses to balance giving and receiving. To understand engagement as a law of reciprocity, one must first recognize that the energy behind every interaction matters more than the interaction itself. A comment typed with sincerity carries a vibration of authenticity that cannot be ignored. A share given with generosity transmits an invisible signal to the universe that you are aligned with abundance. Every follower, every like, every message you send out is like planting a seed of energy into the field of collective consciousness. These seeds, nurtured by consistency and faith, inevitably grow, attracting more attention, influence, and opportunities to you. The principle is simple yet profound. As you give, so you receive. As you serve, so you prosper. Consider the act of supporting another creator, business, or individual online. When you lift someone else's work, you are not diminishing your own. You are activating a spiritual law that recognizes and multiplies generosity. The universe responds to your willingness to give without expectation, to engage without agenda, by returning to you followers, opportunities, and recognition that align with your highest good. Engagement is not a game of chance or a matter of timing. It is the reflection of the energy you emit. The more consistent and intentional your interactions, the more powerful the return. Because the universe always responds to what is given with sincerity and faith. It is also vital to understand that the law of reciprocity operates on multiple levels. Engagement does not simply result in immediate numerical growth. It influences the quality of your connections, the loyalty of your audience, and the depth of trust that is established. When you approach social media with the mindset of service, your followers sense the authenticity of your intent, and this fosters a relationship that transcends transactions. Influence grows, collaborations are invited, and opportunities appear in forms that could never be achieved through manipulation or superficial tactics. The law is impartial and infallible. That which is given freely and generously always returns with magnification. Every interaction carries potential energy. A thoughtful comment can spark a conversation that leads to collaboration. A genuine share can introduce your work to an audience that was previously unreachable. A heartfelt message can establish trust and open doors to partnerships. These actions, seemingly small, are the mechanisms through which the law of reciprocity manifests. The energy you put forth in these moments is a direct reflection of your consciousness. It is the inner state projected outward, and the universe responds by matching that energy with equal or greater abundance. The social media landscape is a living field of energy, and the law of reciprocity is one of its most potent forces. It is essential to recognize the role of consistency in this process. One act of engagement may yield some return, but sustained, purposeful interaction creates momentum that compounds over time. When you consistently give value, uplift others, and engage with sincerity, the universe aligns circumstances to bring resources, influence, and financial opportunities into your life. The digital space magnifies these efforts because social media acts as a mirror, reflecting your energy to a vast and attentive audience. Each interaction becomes a seed, and each seed, when nurtured, grows into a network of reciprocity that yields more than what could have been predicted at the time of planting. Moreover, engagement is not merely about what you give outwardly, it is also about the inner attitude with which you give. To approach interactions with expectation or self-interest diminishes the vibrational potency of your efforts. The law of reciprocity responds not to obligation or calculation, but to the purity of intent and the generosity of spirit. When you engage with joy, clarity, and faith in the abundance of the universe, the reflection you receive through social media is multiplied in influence, recognition, and income. Followers respond not to what you do, but to the energy with which you do it, and the universe mirrors that energy back to you in countless ways. The principle also extends to the content you produce. When your posts, videos, and stories are created with the intention of serving, inspiring, and educating, they engage your audience on a deeper level. This engagement is not transactional, it is vibrational. A response to the energy of giving embedded in your work. The more authentic the content, the more powerful the reciprocal effect, because the universe recognizes sincerity and magnifies it through visibility, opportunity, and abundance. Each act of giving, whether through content creation or interaction, becomes a seed that grows into influence, recognition, and financial prosperity, demonstrating that social media is not merely a tool, but a spiritual instrument governed by universal laws. Finally, the law of reciprocity teaches that giving is always the first step toward receiving. To expect returns without contributing value is to misunderstand the principle. Abundance flows naturally when energy is put forth with faith, generosity, and authenticity. By consistently engaging, serving, and uplifting others, you create a fertile field in which the seeds of your own prosperity take root and flourish. Social media acts as the mirror in which your energy is reflected back multiplied, showing you the power of giving, the beauty of service, and the infinite potential for wealth, influence, and success that resides within the law of reciprocity. Turning influence into income. Practical ways to transform followers, likes, and shares into tangible, million-dollar value. Influence is one of the most powerful currencies of the modern world, a force that, when rightly understood and consciously directed, can create streams of wealth that flow with ease and abundance. To possess Fluence is not merely to have followers, likes, or attention. It is to hold the power to inspire, to lead, and to impact the thoughts and decisions of others. Social media magnifies this influence exponentially, providing a platform where the energy of your consciousness is projected to thousands, tens of thousands, or even millions of people around the globe. The universe responds to the clarity and faith with which you wield this influence, transforming the intangible energy of inspiration into tangible streams of income, opportunity, and prosperity. Every interaction you have, every post, story, or video you share, carries with it the potential to create value that is recognized and rewarded. Influence is energy, and energy always seeks expression in the material plane. When your content, presence, and engagement are aligned with purpose, authenticity, and service, the law of compensation ensures that what you give is returned multiplied. Income is not the primary goal. It is the natural result of influence expressed in alignment with the laws of abundance. When you give freely, teach generously, and inspire sincerely, social media acts as a conduit, amplifying your impact and opening doors to opportunities that can manifest as sponsorships, collaborations, partnerships, product sales, and consulting opportunities. It is vital to understand that influence must be rooted in authenticity. Followers are not attracted merely to flashy posts, catchy slogans, or viral trends. They are drawn to the energy behind your message. Authentic influence stems from a clarity of purpose, a vision of value, and a consistent demonstration of your principles and expertise. When your digital presence communicates sincerity, knowledge, and trustworthiness, the universe responds by multiplying your reach and presenting opportunities that convert influence into income. Social media becomes a mirror, reflecting back to you the abundance you project internally. The more genuine your influence, the more potent its ability to generate wealth, because people respond to energy more than strategy, and the universe rewards alignment over effort. Consider the process of monetization as the natural unfolding of influence. When you have built trust, demonstrated value, and cultivated a loyal following, opportunities for financial exchange begin to appear almost effortlessly. Your influence signals to the universe, and to your audience, that you are a person whose time, ideas, and creations have worth. This worth is then translated into tangible forms: partnerships with brands, invitations to speak, product launches, affiliate programs, and premium services. Each manifestation is a direct reflection of the energy you have consistently projected, a confirmation that influence, when aligned with purpose, inevitably leads to income. It is also essential to recognize that turning influence into income requires clarity of vision and a confident belief in your right to prosperity. Doubt, hesitation, or fear diminishes the power of your influence, just as negativity in your content can repel potential opportunities. When you speak with confidence, share your insights with conviction, and present your offerings as solutions to the needs of your audience, the universe responds by arranging circumstances in your favor. Income is not created through struggle or manipulation. It is the natural consequence of influence exercised in harmony with universal laws. The energy you radiate through your digital presence attracts people, partnerships, and payments that mirror the abundance you hold within. Consistency plays a critical role in the transformation of influence into wealth. One viral post may bring attention, but the sustained practice of creating meaningful content, engaging authentically, and demonstrating value establishes long-term streams of income. Each post, story, or video becomes part of a larger tapestry of influence, contributing to a reputation that precedes you and a trust that solidifies over time. The law of accumulation is at work. Small, deliberate actions compounded over weeks and months create a momentum that attracts income opportunities naturally. Social media, with its global reach, acts as a multiplier, ensuring that every seed of influence planted is capable of yielding far greater returns than traditional avenues might allow. Turning influence into income also involves the alignment of intention and action. The purpose of your content should be clear: to educate, inspire, entertain, or solve problems. When this intention is pure, the universe supports it, bringing opportunities that translate into monetary gain. Every product promoted, every service offered, and every collaboration pursued becomes a reflection of your energy and alignment. Followers and clients respond to the energy behind your message. They invest not only in the tangible product, but in the trust, credibility, and authority you have cultivated through consistent, high-vibration content. Influence, therefore, becomes a vehicle through which abundance flows, not as a result of coercion, but as a natural reward for service, value, and authenticity. Another essential principle is the recognition of timing. Income does not always manifest immediately after influence is built. The universe operates in perfect timing, bringing opportunities into alignment with your readiness and ability to receive. Patience, faith, and continuous engagement are essential. Each interaction, comment, or post adds to the foundation of trust and authority that, over time, converts influence into sustainable, long-term income. Social media acts as a dynamic field where energy compounds, where consistent, purposeful action creates exponential results, and where influence is transformed into financial abundance. In alignment with universal laws. It is also important to understand that influence multiplies when it is leveraged for collaboration. Partnerships, joint ventures, and collective projects amplify the energy of influence, allowing it to reach new audiences and generate income streams that would not exist otherwise. By recognizing that influence is a form of spiritual currency, you see that collaboration is not competition, but an exchange of energy that expands the field of prosperity for all involved. Each cooperative effort increases visibility, enhances credibility, and opens doors to financial reward, demonstrating that influence is not limited by individual capacity but is infinitely expandable when applied wisely. Finally, turning influence into income requires an unwavering belief in the value of what you offer. Every follower, every connection, every engagement is a reflection of the energy you project and a signal from the universe that your contribution matters. Income flows naturally when you honor that value, present it confidently, and allow the universe to deliver the opportunities that match your vibration. Influence becomes not just attention or popularity, but a tangible, measurable, and ever-expanding asset, capable of generating wealth in multiple streams, creating freedom, and establishing a legacy.